Welcome to In Your Neighborhood. I'm your host, Chris O'Rourke, as we continue our special series, Conversations on COVID-19. And what we are seeing in these days of dealing with this virus is a lot of innovation. A lot of local universities are teaming up with healthcare systems to make the PPE they so desperately need on the front line. And one of those universities is Bloomsburg University. We are joined today by Dr. Todd Shopper and Dr. Carolyn Miller from the Zeigler College of Business on campus. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Okay, so we'll start off with you, Dr. Todd Shopper, because from what I understand, you're the dean of the Zeigler College of Business, so we'll start off with you. What's your background, Todd?
My background is in the accounting field. I first came to Bloomsburg University back in 2012, and I came into the accounting department, teaching a lot of their managerial accounting and cost accounting courses. Prior to that, I was at a couple of other academic institutions, as well as extensive industry experience in the high-tech field in particular. And I'm originally from New Hampshire, so the transition to Pennsylvania has been great so far. And, you know, it's a great opportunity to be at Bloomsburg University.
So did you just recently come here, or has it been too long?
Well, I've been in Pennsylvania since January of 2003.
Oh boy, okay. So you're considered a Pennsylvanian by now.
My dad's originally from Pennsylvania, so, you know.
Oh yeah, so you're a native son then. Okay, so Carolyn, your background?
Well, I was a IT professional for a number of years. I worked in a communications company. Then I worked in a chemical company, but most of my career, I was a consultant for an international IT company. And then I tried my hand at teaching at Bloomsburg University, and I just fell in love with the institution and the students here. And then I became a tenure track professor. And after a number of years, I got tenure, and now I'm chair of the Department of Information Technology, Analytics, and Business Education. So my day job is teaching information technology classes at our undergraduate and graduate level. And my nighttime job right now has been 3D printing. And our club, we have an Association of Information Systems, and our club acquired two very nice printers through the generosity of an alum, Nicholas Giffray. And these are in our Zeigler College of Business. And our club was using these printers for humanitarian reasons. They were printing prosthetics. So now I am involved in this process because of the experience with 3D printers.
Yeah, we're familiar with your experience with 3D printers because we did an IYN segment on Jesse and Jake, who we'll talk about later, and their use of the 3D printers to make prosthetic hands. So Carolyn, while we're on you, what was your initial reaction when you heard of all the stuff happening early last month with the COVID-19 and the implications it could have for the university?
Well, I was very excited for the opportunity to help because we feel like in many ways that we just have to wait through this virus and do the best we can with our work. And the opportunity to help the healthcare folks with their job, keep them safe, was a very nice opportunity. I was very happy to become involved.
Todd, what about you? Your reaction to what was happening with the coronavirus and the potential to move online for the university?
Well,
go ahead, Todd. Yeah, go ahead, Todd.
When we first heard about that, we as deans, we got together with our provost, and we had long discussions over bringing our courses online, the possibility of bringing our courses online. Then we finally, the executive leadership of the university made the decision to bring the courses online, similar to a lot of academic institutions across the United States that were doing the same thing at the time. Which is a great move for the university because right now it's a safety issue, that close contact that students have in the classroom. So we felt it was the necessary time to actually do that. And the transition to going online has gone extremely smoothly. Our faculty at the university and within the Zeigler College of Business should be really commended for bringing their courses online and, you know, making that experience worthwhile for the students to stay here.
Carolyn, at what point did the idea arise for helping out Geisinger with PPE?
It was during March. It was right when we started to go with our classes online. It was right after spring break. They reached out, and we have been working on this now for several weeks.
Did you guys jump at the opportunity, obviously?
Yes, we did. Yes. We
So
contacted
Go ahead.
we contacted the students, and they got excited, and we did work, had some in here for a little bit and mostly remote, and we talked about modeling, and we jumped right in.
Todd, what kind of design work went into making various products, and also what products are you making for Geisinger?
Well, one of the things that we did, Carol and I visited with Geisinger to find out what their needs were and compared that to what the capabilities of our equipment could handle. The design work actually came from Geisinger. They sent us the files and the designs of the equipment that they wanted us to manufacture. So we're actually producing headbands for the face masks. So those are being 3D printed. We are also doing the clear face shields, which aren't 3D printed. Those came from another method. And we're also doing the, similar to the N95 masks, they're actually hard masks that have filters in them. They're produced in 3 parts. So what it required was the students to actually work together, print out some samples to see what worked, what didn't work, and they had to continuously update that design to make sure that it met the standards that Geisinger was looking for.
And apparently you at some point came up with an invention for this, did you not?
I wouldn't call it necessarily an invention, but we were actually working with Carol and I were talking about purchasing Mylar to actually do this, and the resources available out there really quite didn't fit our need. Then it popped into my head one day. It's like, why don't we try to send a laminating pouch, an 8.5 by 11 laminating pouch to the laminator? We just so happen to have some 3 mil pouches. 3 mil is the actual thickness of the pouches. So we sent that through the laminator and it actually came out a little bit wavy, so that wouldn't necessarily work because the vision, you know, it would be hard to see for our healthcare workers. So we took 5 mil sheets, and I have a sample of what the 5 mil sheet looked like here. And we sent that through at the 3 mil setting through the laminator, and it actually came out absolutely perfect, clear. It couldn't have been a better result for us. And Carol and I looked at each other and we said, wow, this is perfect. I think this will work. And I believe Geisinger's been really impressed by that solution.
Carolyn, number one, you have props. And number two, could you talk about how the students were involved in this process?
Sure. This is a sample of the design that Geisinger provided for us for one of the masks, one of the 3-piece part. And the students were working on correcting the nose so it was more comfortable. So we worked to put those designs together, and we shared it back with Geisinger. And then we mass produced as many as they wanted, and they asked us for 10 to 12, and we ended up giving them 14. And there was 2 other parts that were created. And we had to make sure that the settings on the machinery that we're printing these fit together so it snaps nicely together. So that was one area the students were working on. And then we have been creating mass quantities of these face visors. They hang here, and then this is where you punch holes and put the laminate sheet so that it acts as a shield for the healthcare worker. And so we have many of these for donating, and then many of the shields. Geisinger wants them separate. It's easier for storage and distribution. And then we're also doing some clips and snaps that we are creating for them.
What are the clips and snaps used for?
Well, they use cloth material types of face masks too, which have elastic, and the elastic is given out. It's not as comfortable for the workers. So we need to make straps and a clip in the back so that it's more comfortable for them.
Oh, I see. And so who were some of the students involved in this process? How many were involved?
Well, we have 4 students that are our 3D printer gurus, and they have been involved in the prosthetic projects, and they lead the production of our fundraising efforts. And that's Jesse Johnson and Jake Latcham, who you already have met. And then we also have Caitlin Griffith and Mike Hummel. And all 4 of these students are information technology management majors, and they're graduating. And they've been a terrific help and very dedicated. They spend many hours every week serving the clients for the prosthetics. They're very dedicated, nice kids, nice students.
Todd, how did the first run go on the printers of all the PPE stuff?
Oh, once we started printing, everything looked like it was printing out properly. Of course, we had to play around with the timing that it prints. There's a bunch of different settings that the 3D printers actually have. I'm not specialized in that area. Luckily, the students and Dr. Lomakia are. You know, I learned a lot through this process, but when they actually looked at it, they looked at the design to see if they could actually print it a little bit faster and keep up with the same quality. So the first couple runs took a little bit longer, and gradually the timing got down a little bit for each run.
So Carolyn, go ahead.
They have it down to a really efficient process now.
Carolyn, how long does it take to make each of the pieces to run it through the printer?
Well, we can fit several on a build plate at a time. And right now, the visors that we print take under 3 hours, and we do 3 at a time. These clips that I'm making, they take about an hour, and I can do 60 at a time. The heavy-duty masks that we made, they were made with tough PLA. They were long-running projects. We could do 3 at a time, and it took about 15 hours for 3 of them at a time. And the other parts were smaller, so we could fit 8 on a build plate and get them done in about 6 hours. So it's a trade-off between time and quality. We do have very nice equipment, though.
Yeah, I've seen the printers. They're very impressive. Are they, when you do them, when you say you do 3 at a time, are they stacked 3 at a time? Is that the way it works?
No, they have to lay flat on the build plate because the printer is injecting little drops of PLA that's melted, and it has to set in a certain way that it can build on previous drops as it hardens, and it can't dangle or have a failed print. It has to be a very precise way of laying, so it drips, hardens, the next layer drips, hardens. So that's how it works.
And how many of each piece have you made so far?
We made 14 complete masks. I have about 150 clips done, and visors, I think we might be up to 300 by now. And the face shields, we have, Dr. Shopper, we're in a couple hundred of them, correct?
Yeah, we're a couple hundred. We will have probably about 600 by the end of the week.
So are those visors, the things you're making a lot of, are they the things that they'll be changing more often? Is that the idea?
Well, they did not give us any quantity requirements. It's not like for every visor you make us a face shield. And they did come up with a process for sterilization of the equipment that goes through series of approval steps. So I would imagine that they're going to have a stack of these visors and a stack of the face shields and assemble them as they need them. and then a healthcare worker would probably be using the same one multiple times, cleaning them in between. Maybe they might have to clean them several times a day. It's that process is established by Geisinger.
And the nice thing, Todd, is that you have the whole process down. So if they need any more than what you've already made, you can rattle them off, right?
Yeah, we can rattle them off. Whatever they need, we can actually do. So, I can't thank Dr. LaMacchia and the students enough for actually initiating this project and actually getting it off the ground, because the technology that's behind 3D printing is amazing. It's also known as additive manufacturing, and it's really transforming the way we do things and the way businesses operate.
Has it been so successful that you would try other things along these lines, other pieces of the PPE puzzle?
Yeah, definitely. We could really look into manufacturing a lot of different types of items that whatever they need. So long as we have the capabilities on our machine, we could actually do more collaboration with Geisinger and other hospitals out there as well to actually fulfill whatever needs they are, so they can focus their efforts on areas that might be a little bit more important, like splitters for ventilators, for instance. That's one of the things that Geisinger wants to focus their 3D printers on. So, whatever we can do to help that cause and help out our community, that's something we want to teach our students, to be good citizens.
Okay, we end these segments each time by asking asking the people we're interviewing, how you're dealing with this whole situation personally. So we're getting in touch with our feelings today. So Todd, we'll start with you. How have you been dealing with this whole situation?
Oh, we're all hunkered down at home. My daughters are, doing their schoolwork at home. So we're all hunkered down. We're safe. We're healthy. And we're looking forward to this situation to be over with, and actually for us to be able to get together again, instead of through the electronic means of Zoom, which Zoom is a great medium, but it just doesn't have that, face-to-face interaction that we're so used to, and the in-person interaction. So we're handling everything great.
Okay, Carolyn, how about you?
Well, I am with my husband, and we're empty nesters, and we have a quiet life as it is. We're home people. So it seems like business as usual. I do have a mother in the area, and she's in assisted living, and it's been challenging that we can't see my mother, and I know the dogs miss her. So that's a challenge. I'm trying to be sure that she stays where she is and remains healthy. Our kids are moved out, and thankfully they were able to work during this time. And I am grateful that I can continue working because I really like the interaction with the students. So, a lot of prayers and a lot of patience, and we're getting through this.
Do the students seem to be handling okay, the ones you're dealing with?
I have a mixed bag with the students. We are trying to have a lot of interaction with them. The faculty has classes typically through Zoom at the same time, and some of them do not have the best technology, but the university has been terrific supporting them. And I know they miss their friends. They're anxious about graduation. They're anxious about internships and applying for jobs. But I feel like the university and the faculty and the advisors are part of their family. And I get a lot of very nice classroom sessions with them. And I hear from other faculty also that the students and the faculty are enjoying the time that they do spend together, even though it's electronic.
Okay, thank you very much for your time today, and thank you for all your work for Geisinger Medical Center, their health system. Dr. Carolyn LaMacchia, thank you very much for your time today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And Dr. Todd Shopper, thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much for your time, Chris.
Okay, they're both from the Zeigler College of Business on the campus of Bloomsburg University. And we will be right back.